Hi everyone, welcome back to Kidding Around. My name is Melanie Smith and I am thrilled that you are here with me today on another Thoughtful Thursday. Today we will be making these fun umbrellas that we can leave for people to just happen across. Before we do that though, if you like what you're seeing here and want to follow along with all of Kidding Around's videos, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also if you really like what you're doing here, please share us with your friends. Thank you so much. All right, let's move on to our Thoughtful Thursday. We're going to talk about the fun of a surprise. I know we quite often do talk about the fun of a surprise on our Thoughtful Thursdays because it is just so fun to be surprised. So today we are going to make these cute little umbrellas, or these cute bigger umbrellas, and we are going to be able to attach a tag to them that says, "Enjoy this random act of kindness," and then we will be able to leave them in a place that someone will not be expecting to find a fun umbrella. And then they will be happy, and most likely they will then pass that happiness on to other people in their lives as well. All right, so in order to make these fun umbrellas, you will need a few supplies. So you can see here I have a big umbrella. I also have a small umbrella. These were both made with origami paper. They're just made with different sizes of origami paper. So it's up to you to decide what type, what size you want to make. Do you want to make this big one, or do you want to make a smaller one? If you want to make the big one, you will need several pieces of origami paper in 6x6 size. That's right here, that's what you see. If you would like to make this smaller one, you will need several pieces of origami paper in 2x2 size. So you can see there's quite a difference in the size of this paper, and obviously there's quite a difference in the size of the umbrellas that it makes. Both are great. I would say that the smaller paper is a little bit harder to work with and a little bit harder to see on camera, so we'll be doing the big one, but really anyone who gets either one of these will love it. All right, so in addition to the origami paper that you need, you will also need a pencil, you will need a straw, you'll need some double-sided sticky tape, you'll need some yarn, and a hole punch. And then you will also need these tags that you can find on a link below this video. These are just the tags that let someone know that you have left them a random act of kindness. These tags I love. They say, "Some say a rainy day is the only chance an umbrella gets to shine." Maybe. Or maybe this umbrella is shining for you right now. Please enjoy this random act of kindness. I can't imagine, like coming out to see this on maybe my car, like under my windshield wiper if I were at a store. It would just make my day. So that's a great place to leave them. You'll have to start thinking of some good places to leave these umbrellas. All right, so in addition to all of that, you will also need a pair of scissors. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see here, I have a lot of different rainbow type colors of origami paper. And those are the ones that we're going to make today. It's a rainbow umbrella. Of course, you can make any type of umbrella that you would like. I have listed below this video a link to the big origami paper and the small origami paper, and they come in rainbow colors. So you absolutely could make a rainbow, or you could make all different shades of blue or red or purple, whatever you would like. It's up to you. I have to say there's something so special about a rainbow in my mind that I just had to make a rainbow umbrella. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I am going to show you the way to do this first one, and then we'll go through all of the others as well, but they're all the same. So the first thing that I am going to do is I am going to fold my origami paper in half, and their origami paper is square, so it doesn't matter which way you fold first. And then you are going to fold it in half the other way. So you basically have just made a smaller square. And you are going to do that with all of your origami paper, every single piece that you want to include in your umbrella. So I am just going to go here in my rainbow order. You can do, again, whatever you like to do. This project is definitely one of repetition. So this is definitely a fun one to do maybe as someone is reading you a story, or maybe if you've got a movie on in the background, maybe a movie that you've already seen before so you don't have to focus on it too much. you know the plot, but it's still kind of fun to have something going in the background. Truly another thing that I like to do, and even more so than having a movie or something playing on the TV, is music. I love having music in the background as I work. It just makes everything a little bit happier, and then every once in a while I just start bopping along and I realize, oh my goodness, I'm dancing. So this is great because you're making happiness for other people, but as you're dancing along or you're enjoying a story, you're making happiness for yourself too, right? All right, so you see here I am just folding in half and then folding in half again, and I am doing that with all of my papers. I am also trying to make sure that this fold, this second fold, like the point for this second fold, is staying in the same place as I kind of stack my papers. You'll see that they don't stack super well after they're folded, but I'm still kind of trying to keep that corner in the same place. It's not a big deal if you don't do that, but that corner will come into play a little bit later, and so it's just nice to be able to find it quickly or without too much hassle. All right, I have 2 more papers left. I'm down to the pinks. All right. Line up those corners, and these corners do not have to be super exact. You want them close, but they don't have to be exact. I'm sure you can tell that by the way I'm folding these. Okay, so I now have all of my papers folded, and I am going to try to kind of stack them, but like I said before, they don't stack super well. All right, so now I am going to start with the first one I folded. It doesn't really matter if you start with the first one you folded or not. I just like to. And I am going to now draw this shape of the umbrella. So what I am going to do, remember that corner I told you about? So this is the corner where you have folded it once, right? You folded it once and you folded it twice, and this corner that has 2 folds coming out from it is the one that we need for the rest of this project, okay? So I am going to put that double folded corner pointing towards me. So I have a diamond and it's pointing towards me, and then I am going to come to the corner on the folded corner's left, and I am going to connect this with a line, a circular line, or it's not a complete circle, right, but a rounded line. I am going to try to connect this point to the point across from it. And remember, my folded corner is still pointing towards me. All right, once I have done that, this is the arc of the umbrella. Once I have done that, I am now going to cut along that line. All right, this now is the first part of my umbrella, but it's also going to become my template as I cut the rest of these as well. So you can see that it folds open and it's still all together. If I accidentally didn't have this point towards me, it would be a different situation here as I unfold it. So this is what it should look like when you have cut off your first corner of the paper. All right, so now I am going to do this on all of my papers, but I need to make sure that I keep that folded, that double folded corner pointing towards me, and then I am going to line those 2 squares up, and then I am going to just draw around the red one, making that the template, and then I can then go ahead and cut my orange, and the arc should be very similar to the red one, which will make a very pleasing umbrella. So now you just do it with all of them. Like I mentioned, if you have this point all lined up, so it's in the same spot, every time you pull a piece of paper off, it will be very easy to do your umbrella. All right, and then the other thing that I would do is I would also recommend that you always use the same umbrella start for your template. If you start using the one that you just did prior, your umbrella may change shape a little bit, which wouldn't be the end of the world, but it just makes it easier if you use the same one as your template every time. Okay, so I have my oranges done. Now I'm going on to the yellow. So I have that double point pointing towards me, both for the yellow and the red. And I'm lining it up there, and then I'm tracing around the red, and I am going to cut. And I will just continue doing this for all of the papers in this stack here. All right, and there we have all of them cut. Phew, that is a lot of color that you are going to be putting in the world. All right, so now I have all of my papers stacked with that point, that double folded point in the corner. And now I just get to attach them all. This really couldn't be an easier craft. All right, so I am going to take the first two that I want to connect, and I am going to tape in two places. The first place that I am going to tape is down this folded side. So it opens like a book. You want to tape on the side, like on the spine of that book. And then the next place that you want to tape is kind of across this arc. That'll just keep it together the best. All right, and then you are going to take the red, or your first paper, and you are going to line it up and then just press down. And now you have the beginnings of your umbrella. So then we'll just keep going. And I like to always tape on the color that is not attached to the umbrella yet. That seems to be easiest for me. You find what works for you, of course. All right, and then I am going to line it up. And there we go. Now I've got three colors. If you are using the smaller paper, this smaller 2x2 paper, you won't need to do the two pieces of tape. Oh, now, you know what? I need to look here. Let's see, I needed to flip that. I want my umbrella to open like a book, or my paper, I guess, to open like a book. So I want to make sure that I'm taping the right part. So I tape down the spine of the book. But first I make sure that it opens like a book, because if it doesn't, I'm going to have some problems with it all going together. All right, and then I line it up and I stick it down. All right, so now, oh, it looks like my stack must have gotten turned. So let's see if I can fix that. So remember, you want it to open like a book, and you want the curve to look like an umbrella if you're putting the one that you're putting tape on with the other ones. So there, it looks like an umbrella, and it opens like a book. So I know that I'm taping in the right spot. All right, and then down the spine, and then right here out by the arc. And then I'll flip it over, and there we go. Okay. And now I've got, yep, I'm back on. So now it looks like an umbrella, and I also am being able to open it like a book still. All right, so I tape down the spine, and then I tape out on the side. All right, so yeah, again, if you're doing the smaller ones, you won't have to use as much tape. Just one piece probably will work, and you can actually just tape it like this, kind of diagonally. But the bigger ones, you definitely want them to stay open, and the way to keep them staying open and looking like an umbrella is to tape them here. All right, and now I'm going to, yep, it looks like an umbrella, and it's opening like a book, so I know I'm back on track. Okay, so I am just taping my final piece of the umbrella together. Did you see on this bright pink one, I almost taped it incorrectly? I'm so glad I checked that before I put the tape down. Of course, if I had put the tape down and it was incorrect, it's no big deal. You can easily pull those apart. But you know, it's nice not to have to do that sometimes too. Okay, so now I have a half of my umbrella. Now I'm just going to make it the full umbrella by connecting here this pink to the red. And I will do that in the very same way that I have been putting all of these together. I am just going to open it the other way. You saw me kind of fan it out and then lay it down there. And then I will do my final couple pieces of tape. And I'm going to put the red and the pink together and press them. And now, voila, we have a beautiful rainbow umbrella. The only thing now that it's missing is the handle, right? So this is where we're going to take our straw. And I have to say, especially if you're doing one of these big umbrellas, a bendy straw, I think works really well because it kind of looks like a handle for the umbrella. And so what I am going to do is I am going to end up putting this straw underneath the umbrella and through that hole right there where all of the papers come together. But first I am going to make sure that it has tape on it so that it sticks. So I am going to take this double-sided tape, and I am going to wrap it right around the top of the straw. And then I'm going to measure here and see if this were at the top, I need to see now where the bottom of the paper would touch the straw, and I can see it right there with my fingernail. Do you see that? And then I'm also going to put a piece of tape at that spot too. I'm going to put the tape above that spot so that the bottom of the umbrella is able to stick to the straw as well as the top. All right, so now I have the tape on my straw, and I am going to very carefully come to the bottom of my umbrella, and I'm going to try to make that hole a little bit bigger. But again, I'm going to be gentle because I don't want to accidentally tear or maneuver the tape off of the paper. And then I am going to very carefully slide that straw in. And then I am going to kind of move the paper around just a little bit to make sure that it's got pretty good contact with that tape. And then I will be able to fan out my papers, and I now have a very happy making umbrella. Okay, so the last thing to do here is once you have that umbrella made, sometimes these bigger umbrellas are a little bit harder to set down, but there we go. And the last thing that you have to do then is to take your tags that you can get from the link below this video and attach them. There are some that are in black and white, and there are some that are in color, so you can print whichever one you want based on the printer that you have or the ink that you have in the printer or however that works. So you just print them, and you can print these on normal copy paper, or you could print them on cardstock too if you would like. And then just cut one out. So I'm going to cut it here so that we don't have it all completely white on one side. Just gonna trying to center it up a little bit. And then I am going to take my hole punch, and I'm going to find a good place to put a hole. Where do you think? Probably right there is good. And then I will take a piece of yarn here. Oh no, you know what? I didn't do, oh, but it worked out. I didn't find the end before I started. Okay, so then I will put my yarn through the hole, maybe. You know how that goes, right? And then I am going to come down here and I am going to attach it to the bottom. If you make these smaller ones, you can attach it up through one of these pieces of paper if you want, just to make sure that it doesn't slide off. But then on these bigger ones, you can definitely attach it here, and then the handle of the straw will keep it on. So I am going to just attach that right there, and then I am going to cut it off, just cut those ends off, and there we go. I have a lovely umbrella that I can leave at the park on a slide, or I could leave on a swing, or I could leave on a walking trail, or on someone's car if they were in a store. I can leave this for them and leave a smile for them as well. I would love to see pictures of your umbrellas. Please ask a grown-up to take a picture of those and put them on our Facebook page. You know what I would really also love to see is you in action placing your umbrellas out in the wild. That would be great. Please ask a grown-up. If it's okay with the grown-up and it's okay with you, please ask a grown-up to take a picture of you as you're doing that and then post that on our Facebook page as well. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to join me today. I hope that you've had as much fun as I have. I really enjoy spreading this love and color and kindness out into the world, and I love that you love doing that as well. I hope that you will join me on Saturday. We're going to be talking about a fun story, and then we're also going to be doing an activity with that as well. But until then, thank you so much for joining me for this one. Thanks so much for kidding around with me. I will see you next time.